This time on distant shores, we're in the Cape Verde Islands off the African coast and setting our sails for the Caribbean over 2,000 miles away.
There are many other vessels getting ready to cross the Atlantic Ocean, and we will likely see some of these on the crossing. Mindelo is a great point of departure and allowed us to knock 800 miles off the passage, compared to starting directly from the Canary Islands. Plus it gave our crew Keith and Stefan time to get familiarized with the boat. We're Cheryl and Paul Shard, hosts of the Distant Shores Sailing Adventure TV series. We've been sailing and living aboard for 35 years, documenting the sailing lifestyle. Join us as we begin the next chapter of global voyaging on our new Sail Orion 49.
We're looking forward to getting our sails set. We've got the downwind rig sorted out. We got a new sail that's better for this Atlantic crossing than the Code Zero. We got a new sail from Precision Sails that is another tough jib, so we can run 2 tough jibs, and hopefully at the downwind direction that we usually get on this crossing, those 2 will take us much of the way across. So looking forward to pulling out the new Precision sail and see how it looks. It was an interesting process with those guys. You can send in your drawings and dimensions and they make you a sail and courier it out. So that process worked really well, and it's been a pleasure working with Precision Sails.
It's a trip of a lifetime. I've read so much about ocean explorers and people have crossed, so for me that's a trip of a lifetime. I always wanted to experience it, so it's fantastic.
It is hard to believe that we are about to start our 10th transatlantic crossing, and such a nice gentle way to start today. We've got such a great crew. Stefan and Keith are great sailors. We've all sailed together before, and now we're so excited to be off to the Caribbean. We had a very brief stay, just a couple of days in the Cape Verde Islands in Mindelo, but we got everything done we needed to do. And now we're heading out. We're not alone. There's a few other sailboats around us that we'll see on AIS probably, but everyone generally starts separating, doing their own strategy, and we're not all headed to Antigua. The first night out, clouds build up, and then we get lightning. This was not in the forecast, but we all get lots of practice reefing the sails and dealing with foul weather in the dark, so we don't worry about handling squalls for the rest of the passage.
Wow, look at this night. Isn't this fantastic? We've got finally got some breeze behind us now. This is what this boat was made to do. We've got this rig out now with our 2 jibs on the poles. You can see it back there. Got both Genoas out pulling on both poles. The wind is something like 18 to 20 from the stern. This is absolutely what she was made to do, and she is just flying along. She's got such good control. The rudders are hardly working. Steer to keep her straight. We're going to knock off a day of something like 180 miles if we can keep this up. 9 and 10 knots. The wind is from the stern, and she's just perfectly balanced. That's our 2 jibs there. Genoa on one side and our new jib on the other side. She's just perfectly set up on a fantastic night. You can see that the autopilot is scarcely working at all to keep her on track, using hardly 5 degrees of rudder each side. The autopilot shows just 2 or 3 degrees of starboard rudder angle. We charge the batteries by running the engine to spin the Combi hybrid drive as a generator, until That was a bit of excitement this morning. We heard we were trying to get the engine to run and wanted to charge the battery up using the Combi, so the hybrid drive can also charge very powerfully, charge the battery bank. The battery bank was low and we wanted to run it, and when it started to run it made a terrible thumping noise. And we figured out in the end that the belt was just jumping a tooth once in a while, so it needed to be tensioned up. So we've tensioned it and now it's back to running great, purring and putting in a few kilowatts into the battery bank. The hybrid drive motor spins the shaft with this belt, and right behind that is the tensioning adjustment. With the Starlink, I was able to send out a quick note to the tech chief Marco back at Enkhuizen Brothers, just to ask him what his suggestions were, and he mentioned that the tensioning might be, because when it makes a thump, it sounds pretty terrible. But my first thought was that the belt had actually broken. But then looking at it, the belt is okay, just needs to be tensioned up. This is our third day at sea on the Transatlantic crossing. We've got a nice wind from astern. It's blowing sort of 17, 18, 20 for the last couple days, and we've got a couple more days where it might even be a little bit more, which would help us to make some more miles. The sailing's been great. We've used both the jibs out, our new jib, twinned up with the original Genoa that we had before. And the pair of them have just been dragging us along. It's a great sailing. Absolutely the perfect transatlantic trade wind sailing. The advice is to sail south until the butter melts. That's pretty much what we did. Left Canaries, and then as we got to the Cape Verde, the butter was melting pretty consistently. And we've turned right and we're heading pretty much due west. We had the nice trade winds behind us, anywhere from as much as 25 down to just even 10, which is pretty hard to sail in. But now we've got quite a few days where it's going to be in the 18 to 20 knots. We'll make some miles westwards. We often see tropic birds with their distinctive long tail feathers when we're still near land. But right now we're over 500 miles from the Cape Verde Islands, so this bird is probably off course and looking for a place to roost. Birds that try to land on the boat well out at sea might need a rest, but I always worry about the mess they can make pooping on the boat. Throw a comment below if you know more about tropic birds and where they're commonly found.
Thank you so much.
We said potato and cheese. Potato, onion and cheese. And they said I was going to be a galley slave. I thought they talked about rowing.
Welcome to Night Watch on Distant Shores. We're about halfway between the Cape Verde and Antigua. Had a nice full moon earlier. The moon has now set, and we've got this winds now for the last day that are 20 to 25, gusts of 27. So the boat is flying along under the double headsail rig. We've got a companion boat with us for the last day and a half. The Kronos is a tall ship, and we've actually seen her before in the Antigua Classics Regatta. She's a lovely boat, a big lots of varnish and fantastic looking boat, and she's been sailing along behind us. She's making about the same speed as us, so she's been behind us for the last day and a half or so. But sun is coming soon, sunrise is coming. You can probably see it a little bit in the sky. And we've got another day or two of these strong winds. The waves tonight are about 4 to 5 meters tall, sort of 12 to 15 feet. The seas on this passage are often over 3 or 4 meters, with occasional 5-meter crests. But since they are traveling the same direction as us, the motion isn't nearly as rough as if we were heading the other way. With waves like this coming up behind the boat, she can pick up speed and surf over 10 to 12 knots. This wind blows uninterrupted over open ocean all the way from Africa and builds up some pretty impressive waves over the 2,500 miles to the Caribbean. We're going to go up and take a look at the foredeck, check all the lines. I'm going to take a look over the rig. The poles have been set up for a couple of days now, so we just want to see how they're doing. Going forward in these large seas, I always plan my route with handholds, wear deck shoes with good grip, and of course wear a life jacket, safety harness, and tether. All the spreaders look fine. Full lift. I'm looking at points where lines might be chafing, sails might be rubbing, shackles might be coming unscrewed, rigging might be loose, or anything else that isn't right. Well, that's not really good. We'll have to investigate that. Well, there's a couple of things that we need to think about. The pole jaw ends needs taking a look at. So I'll go up the other side next. Got some little flying fish on deck. Goes to show you how dry our decks are on this crossing. They haven't even rinsed off the blood from the flying fish come on board. So the next project of the day is to take a look in the gearbox, where we're having some difficulty getting the transmission to go into gear. So we'll take a look at that.
But that's next time,
The other project of the day today is to take a look at the gearbox.
as we tackle engine and gearbox issues with over 1,000 miles still to go to Antigua. We want to give a big shout out to Stefan and Keith for being such great crew on this voyage, and also to our wonderful community on Patreon, who make the production of Distant Shores videos possible. We enjoy getting together with members at Patreon meetups, at boat shows, and on live stream Q&As as we've gone through the build of our new boat, and now meet up on location as we sail to new destinations. So if you'd like to attend future meetups, engage through direct messages with us, watch our videos early with no ads, plus enjoy other member benefits, consider joining the Distant Shores community on patreon.com/DistantShoresTV.